What's up, everybody? I am DJ Kazzeo, and welcome to Talkin All That Kazz. Now, what is Talkin All That Kazz? Real quick, breaking it down, before I even get to that, let me tell you this. You want to know anything, you want to connect with me on social media, go to this address right here, www.djkazzeo.com, all right? All my stuff's up there. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all that good stuff is up there, okay? Now, for 27 years, over 27 years, I've been hosting a weekly radio show here at 90.9 FM KHTC in Salinas, California. Every one of the shows I've ever done that's in my library is now online. You can go to this address right here, mixcloud.com/DJ_Kazzeo to hear all the shows, all the music, all the interviews, everything. Okay? Now, speaking of interviews, maybe you don't have the time to go to Mixcloud and listen to the full shows, because there's thousands of hours of stuff to listen to. If that's the case, this is what Talkin All That Kazz is for. I've isolated all the interviews, taken the interview clips, put them in video form, and I'm posting them up here on YouTube for you guys to check out in a shorter time, all right? So you can just go, pick out whatever interview you want to check out, and here it is, okay? So, without further ado, let's see what I got in store for you this time around. Indeed, we're back in a place right here. This is 90.9 FM, KHTC Radio Bilingue, right here in Santa Cruz and Monterey counties, 104.1 FM out there in San Benito County, and
everywhere else on WednesdayRec.com, all over the world. And speaking of people from all over the world.
Speaking of places all over the world, man, you talk about a place that nobody would think hip-hop came from, Boise, Idaho. Jason D and 11 joining us tonight. What's up, fellas?
What up?
Good. Everybody all at once.
Yeah.
Everybody all at once, man.
All in together.
We are
now.
a duo.
That's right. That's right.
It's not a solo group.
That's right, man. You guys be the two. So let's get into it. I mean, been playing a lot of the songs off of Strike Back for a minute now. Jason hit me with the digital version probably like a month and a half ago, something like that.
Yeah.
Somewhere around there. And I thought this was the second album, but I was schooled last week and found out this is actually the third project.
Oh man.
So talk to me about the progression over the years.
Go ahead, E.
Okay. Well, definitely. I mean, I was just telling someone earlier today that this has to be the project that I'm most proud of. So, we always want to acknowledge the other two, but this has definitely been one where Jay and I have come full circle with just working together, our personal friendship as well as, the business and the hip-hop relationship, where we trust each other, with our feedback and, with the process. And I think that's why it came out so well. At first, I don't want to say, I mean, when you work on your first project, you almost kind of take everything day by day and get to know each other and that, and you don't want to step on each other's toes. Then the second project comes along and you feel comfortable. But I think this project was more of, we're not going to just do anything just to do it. We're going to do it. It's going to feel right to both of us. It's going to sound right to both of us. And it just came out perfect because, we went into that knowing that we wanted to be better than the first two.
Mm-hmm. Jay, you want to add to that?
Yeah, I think, like the first project we did, there's a lot of different production styles on there. There's some sample-based stuff. There's some stuff where I was playing around with keyboards a little bit. The sound wasn't as cohesive. I feel like this album's a lot more cohesive, but a lot more intentional and a lot more focused versus, when you first start working with somebody, you kind of are worried about offending them. So, like, if they like a beat that you don't like, you're like, okay. You kind of settle. And I think with this project, what's noticeably different is we are both 100% about every song on it, and we didn't compromise. And we actually took a song off after we played it for a few people who said, that's not you guys. And so we just are better at saying no to things that don't meet up with our standards.
Yeah.
Right. Jay, obviously being a longtime friend of Cubmaster Kurt, do you use Kurt as kind of a sounding board for some of the production? Like, you get his opinion?
I give Kurt a lot of credit in the sense that I spent a lot of time in studios with him, home studios and other types of studios. I was fortunate to be hanging out with him during the Dr. Octagon sessions and, recording with Cool Keith. And so a lot of those principles of just how you put a song together, absolutely, Kurt influenced me. I definitely sent him the music, and he, Kurt's such a true school guy. After the last EP, he's like, dude, you don't scratch enough. You need to scratch.
Oh, man.
And so anyway, it's all love. But I think he's proud, man. I think he's expressed that he really likes the latest project. So it's definitely a proud moment for me. Good question.
Yeah, that's good stuff right there. And I got to ask 11, has Jason shared with you the secret of invisibility yet?
No.
Jason has a special talent known as invisibility, and you got to have him show it to you sometime. It's it's incredible.
Oh, boy. Inside joke. I don't know either, so don't feel bad.
I got my co-host V-Dog here.
What up, guys?
You want to get in on this conversation?
I'd like to, except I don't know the inside story, but
Well, I'll tell you later.
Okay, that's fine.
I'm learning too as we go.
Okay, 11, Jason D, what up, guys? Thank you for calling in. I feel like this is like my second boss calling in right now, who I've never got the chance to speak to because I've been on this show for 4 years. Jason D, it's an honor. Thank you.
Performance review time.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, there you go.
For real. What I don't know, because I know you guys have made albums. I didn't know this was the third project. Excuse me, but how did you guys come to be? Like, Jason D, what made you? I didn't know you made beats. How long have you been doing that? And how long have you been rapping? How did you guys come together?
Sure. So. So our journeys are similar. That we're both from California, but we arrived here in Boise by very different paths. I moved here for work.
Right.
I was working for Hewlett Packard, and Hewlett Packard had a really big, site out here. And so, in terms of I moved out here, and I was still doing the show, with Kazzeo remotely. And I helped start a radio station out here called Radio Boise. It's a community station, just like KHTC.
Mm-hmm.
It's like entirely, people powered and volunteers. But after moving my 10,000 plus record collection a few times, my wife was finally looking at me like, "Are you really gonna play all those records or do all that?" So I did like a major purge where I got it down to kind of like the top 1,000, rare, exclusive, underground 12-inch singles, and I sold off all like the commercial stuff. And kind of my deal with my wife was, if I was going to sell my records, I had to keep it in music, and so that's when I bought a lot of studio equipment. And I have a good friend, Customary, out here, who went to audio engineering school, and he helped me like kind of outfit my studio. And then from there, I got Native Instruments Machine because being around Kurt, I was always used to MPCs and like banging on pads. Right. I wasn't really ready to do the computer-based music. I still wanted to be able to tap out ideas, and that's what I've been using ever since. And so the way I met 11 is I have the rec show is kind of syndicated. We got a rec show out here as well that I do every week.
Right.
And 11 had an album out called Star of the Story that I really enjoyed. And I played his music, and I got to meet him at shows and got to know him. And then at one point, he might know the story better than I do, but I just remember his producer kind of moved on from hip-hop to like electronic music, and he gave me a bunch of music to listen to. And then I was kind of like, hey, I made some beats, and then kind of the relationship went from there. But E, why don't you tell them how you got out here?
My story is definitely one of those that's about the journey, but the destination's been great so far. I grew up, as a kid, writing and dancing and doing all the elements of hip hop. And when none of them worked out, I decided to just try to be an MC. But getting to Boise, my wife was born and raised here, so I came here pretty much for her, and she got me out here by sending me like a magazine, the Boise Weekly, that had a bunch of MCs in it, and some of those I'm pretty good friends with today. And so that got me to come to Boise. Okay, I can do music out there, but it was tough because I was mixed in with the people who weren't doing the type of hip hop that I wanted, but at the same time I didn't know anybody. So I kind of fell into some groups, and finally met a guy by the name of Noah Hyde, where I did the Star of the Story album with. When Noah moved on, I kind of was in this place, and I was trying to do some songs on my own, and sending them to Jay was the best thing I ever did, because I valued his opinion, not just only like I said, as a friend, a new friend, but on hip hop. So I sent him and another good friend of ours a bunch of these songs I did, and when they just kind of gave me their honest opinion, I knew I wanted to be close to this guy. And when he sent me a beat to do a song with him, I was like, for sure, let's go. And it's just been a wrap ever since. So as long as Jay wants me to continue doing music, we'll be doing it for a while.
All right. Cool.
Well, that's what's up right there, man. That's the story right there. It's interesting because ironically how you said your girl sent you a some sort of newspaper or whatnot about the highlights of Boise, and it sold you on Boise. I have an uncle that lives out there in Boise, but I've never been there. And I've never had any motivation to go there. And then when Jason moved out there, first thing he sent me was a flyer for bikini bull riding, like mechanical bull riding. I was like, I need to go. So I'm still hoping they have that there, because I want to make a trip.
Nice.
Anyway. Hey, we're gonna jump into Here They Come in just a second, but let people know how they can get their hands on the album.
Yeah, so we're on all streaming platforms, and so everything from Apple Music to Spotify, even YouTube. If you don't have a subscription to something, but you listen to your music through YouTube, it's there. It's on SoundCloud. All those platforms. The best way to support the artist, though, there's a really great site called Bandcamp.
Yes.
And if you search for 11 and Jason D, you can find us on Bandcamp. And the thing that's great about Bandcamp for the artists is it takes out all the middlemen and all the fees. So if you choose to buy an album on Bandcamp, the money comes straight through us and doesn't go through like an iTunes or a Spotify or something like that, where we got to get 10,000 spins to see anything from it. So that's the best way to support the artist is to check us out on Bandcamp.
For sure, man. For sure. And then, of course, what are the social medias so people can, touch base with you guys and connect?
Well, Jay is. Go ahead, Jay.
Yeah, I'm DJ Jason D. No spaces. So DJ JASOND on everything. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You're in the need a pen and paper to catch everything that 11's on.
No, Jay, I'm on a lot too, but it's basically Maxwell is my last name, MAXWELL, but then 11 spelled out. Everybody thinks it's the number, but Maxwell 11 on Instagram, Facebook, etc.
Word, man. One last question before we jump into it. What is what's the meaning behind the name 11?
You'd have to listen to some old music to get it. Basically, I'll give you the short version. There's one of one. There's just one of me. You're going to get me every time, and that's it, pretty much.
Okay, got you.
I mean, I could go deeper, but it'll take a while.
No worries, man. No worries. Well, hey, I want you guys to stick on the line so we finish up off air real quick, but for all intents and purposes, really appreciate you guys taking the time to call in tonight. And keep shining, man.
You.
Keep shining.
Thanks for all the love and support, man. We appreciate you guys very much.